Okay, we're going to go ahead and rebias the Harmon Kardon 150 Plus. This is 100% original. Generally performs good, even on power up. But anyways, I have the instructions here. There's 4 different boards because this is a 4-channel twin power. The first thing we're going to do is move this from the stereo mode to the 4-channel mode. So that forces this into using each amplifier independently. And then I have 2 8-ohm resistors. We'll be putting an 8-ohm resistor on each speaker terminal as we go. Okay, I have the lid off. What we're going to do is just leave this on about 15 minutes just because it's 50 years old. I want everything to kind of energize and warm up. If I'm a betting person, each one of these potentiometers, which is kind of locked into place, probably the bias adjustment. And we'll confirm that when I look at the instructions. But for right now, we want this to warm up. Okay, this is still warming up, but what I'm going to do is just turn on the speakers, volumes down. We're going to put this on like a non-input. That way we're not getting any source signal. And I found the test points. Test point 1. And then down here is test point 2. Each card has those 2 points. However, this one's missing it. So it turns out this is just bridged, if you will, with this resistor. So we're going to do these one by one, but I'm going to let this guy warm up probably another 10 or 12 minutes just because I want to get this energized. It's probably been about 4 months since it's been powered on. While I'm waiting for this to warm up, I just thought I'd give a little visual tour. I believe these are polystyrene capacitors. They look like tubes, don't they? Those, I believe, don't really drift, but there's a lot of capacitors in here, lots of ELNAs within each circuit. And then there's also a bunch on the driver boards, and I think there's even some down below. Here's the whole tone circuit. Apparently, this is not too much of a bear to recap if you really just take it on and do it, but I'm not going to take it on. It's just not something I want to do, and this thing performs pretty well as it is. So anyways, channel 1, we have the resistor in place, and we're at about 7. This has been on maybe about 10 minutes, and according to the service manual, we should be at, what should we be? About 8. So we might be just a little bit down, but look at it, it's creeping up. So let's wait a little bit longer. Okay, this has been on about 15 minutes. It's around 7.2, 7.3. We're going to shoot a little bit of deoxit right on the potentiometer. And then we're going to go ahead and, using an insulated screwdriver to not influence, we're going to move this up to 8. You know, the higher, the hotter it's going to run, but actually be a little more powerful. I'm actually okay keeping it a little bit lower, but right there, 8.1 is good. Let's go ahead and check the next one. Now, second channel, very interesting. This is at about 1.3. So let's go ahead and shoot a little bit of deoxit in there. And this is the real stuff, not the other stuff. But I like to use deoxit on my components, which I like the most, or I want it to last the longest. Let's put this in here. Let's bring this up to 8. Ooh, that's stuck. There we go. Wow, this one's going quite a bit. Let's go ahead and get that around 8 as close as we can. 8.2 is close enough. So this one, channel 2, was significantly off. Let's do 3 and 4 now. Note, I've put the resistors in place as well as I'm going along here. Okay, here's the third channel, and I went from behind on this one because it was really difficult to get to, and I don't want to short anything out. Plus, I did turn the power on and off. This one seems significantly off. I mean, I'm hoping I have this connected right, but let's take a look. I shot some deoxit on here. Let's turn this up. This needs to be 8 millivolts. This is moving quite significantly. I mean, like it doesn't take a lot, but it was significantly off. So if that's a bias, that's going to affect the sound quality. So I'm really interested to see how this sounds afterwards, because it sounded pretty good before. Looks like maybe I got that a little bit too hot. And, you know, these are going to drift. I've noticed you can never get it exactly perfect, But the idea is to be in range, and 8 millivolts is much different than 0.05, okay? So even if I'm off a little bit, this is going to be significantly better than where it was. Okay, here's the fourth channel, and it's at around 0.5. Again, this needs to be at 8 millivolts according to the service manual. I sprayed some deoxit. We're going to go ahead now and adjust this. This one's already kind of turned up high, which is making me wonder, okay, so this is going to go pretty high up here. So I'm continuing to turn this, and you know what? I'm not gonna keep recording, but there's 7.9. That's close enough.